So welcome to Challenge the Road, another thing, EVs being stolen, but what are the real stats? And when I've looked into it, it's actually really interesting. And when I give you the numbers, I think you'll be quite shocked. Now, owners say 50,000 electric vehicles easy to nick as video shows thieves stealing it in 5 seconds. This is this Hyundai Ioniq 5 security after series of thefts highlighted. And you see on the video, gone in 5 seconds. Let's read through it. An owner was horrified when he was awoke on holiday after getting a message on an app which said his Hyundai Ioniq 5, which cost him more than 50,000, was unlocked. Not quite sure how they're doing this. Obviously, it can't really be keyless go because he's on holiday. But anyway, there's a growing belief that the design Hyundai has a serious security flaw. Figures obtained through Freedom of Information have found that thefts of Ioniq 5 soared this year, making it the second most stolen electric vehicle in 2023. Hyundai are aware of a recent incident. We are shocked, and being away from the UK had challenges reaching the police, so we had to resort to other channels. This is the owners. I then realised the thief had removed me from the Blue Link app, so I had no visibility of the car's status or location. Luckily, we had a second account, were able to see the car's location. We raised the theft with the Met Police, who took days before they even registered the crime, and then ultimately we were not able to allocate enough time to study traffic cameras to discover the evidence, so eventually closed the investigation with no resolution. Robert said police visited the first location logged by the app in Essex, but the car was no longer there. They then attended a second location after some time, but the car had disappeared, totally disconnected from its reported position. Just want to see the outcome of this because there's a lot on here. Been away 4 days, so doubt the key was created from a key. Having researched online, it seems you can buy a device which creates a key that opens a Hyundai, which it seems may have been the case. And I don't think this car was recovered. But the question is, how many EVs are actually being stolen? And I've got some good information on this. I've been doing this over the last couple of weeks because I bought my my second EV, but one that actually I think is fantastic, the Taycan. And I've been using it, and I thought, well, we've been doing so much on Land Rovers. What's going to happen with this Taycan? Where are we? How can I secure it? Because I haven't got a Land Rover at the moment because of all these problems, but I have got an electric vehicle. So firstly, I'm just going to go through some of the sort of tips and that. Now, Tesla, it seems, have the best one, which is a Sentry mode, which basically means if someone gets too close, it activates cameras. It's putting a lot of people off. So Tesla, the lowest. But we'll go through the numbers in a bit, but they're the lowest. So we've had almost 130,000 vehicles snatched from driveways in the last 2 years. Now, the figures, I just couldn't believe, really. I was looking at them thinking, I've got this wrong. And then I went through it again, and that's why it's taken me a bit of time to get this video out. But it's saying on here that the top 10 most stolen EV models by the Freedom of Information data. It's just so low, I can't get my head around it. So anyway, the first, number one, is Nissan Leaf. Over 5 years, how many do you think have been taken? 5 years. 188. It's hardly any. Tesla Model S, over 5 years, 61. Renault Zoe, 46. Audi e-tron, 24. It goes all the way down to the car I had, which was the Audi Q4, 9 in the last 5 years. We'll just have a look at 2023 because these cars haven't been out 5 years, some of that, looking at these stats. So this year, Tesla Model S's stolen in 2023. This is up to September, so 9 months, 6. The highest one is the Hyundai, which we've just seen, 13, which is nothing. Tesla Model 3, 4, Q4, 7. This is just negligible. So I read this, went through it, and I thought, this can't be right. I must be getting this wrong. So I thought I'll just keep looking at more and more data. So I've got some more here. So what I had was I wanted to just look at the overall data of stolen vehicles just to make sure I am getting this right, because I thought I must be wrong. But here we have here. So these are thefts for the top 20 most stolen cars for 2022. Now, number one is the Ford Fiesta. Number two is the Land Rover, Range Rover, as we know. And that's been, so in Fiesta, the odds of being stolen for a Ford Fiesta is 1 in every 383 cars. The Range Rover is 1 in every 110. Ford Focus, 1 in every 600. I'll go down a bit more. Land Rover Discovery, 1 in every 216, and it goes all the way down to a Mercedes E-Class. Now, the amount of money also is incredible. So the amount of Land Rovers in value that were stolen were 361 million. So, yeah, it's a huge, huge amount. But then I kept thinking, well, where does EV come in this? And it's just, and I was going through it, and I thought, right, what's the least stolen car in 2022? So the least stolen was a BMW X6 diesel, Mini EV 2019, Porsche Taycan, least stolen, Skoda Superb, and interesting one, the Toyota GR Supra, probably because not many people bought them probably. But I was looking at that and I thought, great, because my Porsche is on there and it's very, very low. And what I wanted to do is then think, well, what is low? I can't hardly find any Taycans stolen. I can find them stolen and written off, like people are stealing them to drive and it's just a thing. But I'm not finding many that are actually stolen. I can't seem to find many stats, but I don't know if someone else has got stats on Taycan, but I can't find many. Now, this Tesla with this Sentry system, they're saying on here, car thieves avoid Tesla Model 3 and Model Y. And a lot of that is down to this system that Tesla have got. And I'm just going to put in what it does. So basically, if someone gets very close to the car or tries to get in, it starts to log these cameras and log them movements. And the thieves obviously find this technology not to their liking, obviously, because they don't want to be on camera, and it's extremely low. So Tesla, fantastic. If other manufacturers can do that, great. Let's just go to one more thing I found on here. So what I thought was, well, how many Teslas have been, stolen around the world, not just England, but I had a look this year. So in the Netherlands, stolen this year, 14 Teslas. It's just hardly any. Another thing here, this is Tesla Motor Club. How likely is keyless theft in 2023? And it seems like on Teslas, it's almost like a non-issue. So obviously they've done a great job. And I don't know why other manufacturers can't do as good a job as them. Tesla tops list as least stolen vehicle. Let's just have a look at some of the stats here. Let's have a look. Frequency of being, it's just so low, it's negligible. And if they are, maybe someone's left it unlocked or something, but it seems like Tesla have got it absolutely nailed down now on what they're doing. So I just thought I'd do this video just to give you some stats. I know we've been doing a lot on Land Rover, but also I wanted to know about why are they not being stolen, because my mind was sort of thinking, well, is it because they're plugged in? So I thought, well, I'm going to look at that, because if a car's on your drive and it's plugged in, would you get electrocuted? What would happen? So it says on here, and this is from an EV site, that basically non-tethered sockets are more liable for theft. So that's where it's plugged into a 3-pin. They could take it from that end, or I assume they can actually pull it out. And the car, I think, has some built-in protection to doing that. But that doesn't seem to be happening that much. But they do want the cables because they can sell them. Then I thought, right, so say it's tethered, and tethered is when you're plugging in and it sort of locks in. And I do that like on the 7 kilowatt. It feels like it locks in, and I'm assuming when you're public charging, it's locking in. So I had a look at that as well, and it said the public charging, they say never leave your car because I think that they can still try and take your own cable. So if you're using a cable, your own one from the boot, they could take it. But if it's tethered, as in I assume it's from the electric point straight in, and I think like on my Taycan, it really goes in and locks and you can't get it out, I think you're okay. But I'm not going to say yes or no, because there's always someone or something that's happened somewhere, and there's always someone who's going to know more than me. But it looks like when I'm at home and I'm charging, my car is quite well protected. So I'm pretty happy with that. But I would be concerned if I was on a driveway that's maybe open to the road, that type of thing. So I thought, well, let's look a bit further into that. And they said one of the best ways to put a padlock. So there's a padlock where the charger is, and that way it's even harder to get off. That was one of the ones. There were some other things on there, but I disregarded that. But I think that is probably the easiest way. The other thing I'd done was look at garage charging, because I thought I've been doing so much on insurance lately. I thought I need to look into this, and I wanted my provider to give me, and I think I've got it here actually. Let me just find it on my phone. Now, I wanted to know, what do I need if I am charging in a garage? And I wanted to just understand that a little bit more. So let's have a look here. So when you're charging in a garage, you have to make sure that you are compliant with your electrics. So basically, I was just a bit worried that if I haven't had, say, a pack test or my electrics hadn't been done well, was I covered? But it does say your electrics has to be done by a proper electrician. You have to be sort of covered on that. But I haven't gone more into, well, how long does that last? Like if I'm in a house now and I've been in there, say, 5 or 6 years, how long does a pack test last? How long am I covered for? Do I need... So what I mean by that, say you go in the garage and you just plug it in a socket, how am I covered? So it's for another video, because this is more about stolen ones today, but I want to find out a little bit more to be comfortable. But I do have some detail on that. But as I say, that would be a next thing. As I'm doing more with this car, I'd like to get the Taycan in the garage. I'd actually like to get an electrician in to really say to me, look, how am I covered? Because obviously if there is a fire, could it mean my insurance is voided? So I'm looking into that as well. So yeah, hope you enjoy these videos. We've got more coming soon. If you can like, share, subscribe, that really helps as well. And I'll see you again soon.